Finding themselves at a familiar white hall, Sora, Donald, and Goofy find Riku's reflection waiting for them. He pulls out something unexpected. A gun! No, he brandishes a keyblade. The group is in disbelief. Reflection Riku tells them that this was the culmination of Vexen's experiment. Why the organization wanted the keyblade, he doesn't know. Sora being there was what led the organization to scrap Vexen's project, but ironically, it's also what accelerated it. For the sake of his quote-unquote father, Reflection Riku will at least attempt to avenge Vexen by battling Sora. Reflection Riku gives Sora a Destiny Island world card and challenges him to a duel there. Sora explores the familiar beaches of the Destiny Islands. The sunny atmosphere gives way to a storm as he re-experiences the moments before he lost his world. He finds Reflection Riku at the usual place. They fight. As they clash keyblades, Reflection Riku reveals that he actually has no hard feelings towards Sora. He would rather take revenge on the organization. The only way he could communicate without suspicion is by close combat, along with the harsh winds of the Destiny Islands covering their conversation. He tells Sora that he might need quote-unquote Kairi's help. She's the key to the castle. He also tells Sora to give him a hard blow so that their fight would look convincing. Sora complies and delivers an explosion. Reflection Riku falls off the platform they were fighting on and disappears. Sora proceeds to the exit. At the next floor, Larxene waits with Kairi. She congratulates Sora on getting rid of Vexen's leftover trash. Sora is at his limit in dealing with this foul-mouthed antenna-headed psycho. Larxene and Sora battle it out. But when she was about to lose again, she threatens to hurt Kairi. Sora retracts his Keyblade and Larxene electrocutes the three. Through sheer grit, she breaks free of the organization's control over her. Sora runs to Kairi. She explains that she's not really Kairi but the control unit for the castle. She is the castle itself, charged to protect it from outsiders. The organization, however, came looking for something. They whittled down her defenses and took control. Her consciousness was then downloaded into a body that looked of Kairi to lead on Sora. This was the data gathered by Marluxia when Sora entered Castle Oblivion. However, since she fought her programming to distract Larxene, she's now separated from the castle's systems. She warns Sora that what the organization is doing is leading him towards the center of the castle, the room she was tasked to protect. She tells him it would be best to leave so as not to fall for whatever the organization is planning. The group is indecisive after hearing her explanation. Marluxia loosens his leash on Axel and orders him to lead Sora to where he needs to go. He hands Axel a card and goes to make his preparations. While the group decides on what they need to do, Axel steps in and tells them that they need to get going. Sora tells him that there's no way they're doing what the organization wants. Axel admits that the organization has their agenda, but he has his own. If he has to drag Sora to the final destination kicking and crying, he will. Axel captures Kairi. She tells Sora to leave her behind. Axel goads Sora that he should let Little Miss lookalike burn in the fire and be as heartless as himself, or be a good little hero and do as he says. Sora grits his teeth, but Axel tells him to relax. He doesn't intend to hand over Kairi back to Marluxia so long as Sora does what he says. Tears of frustration rolls down Kairi's face. She says that if she did what she was supposed to do, as the castle's defender, none of this would have happened. Sora comforts her by saying that they were sent here by the king and Riku to stop whatever the organization is planning, so they'll see this through no matter what. Donald and Goofy give her a reassuring thumbs up. Not Kairi can't help but smile at Sora and his friends. They follow Axel to the final destination. Zexion receives orders to eliminate Riku since Sora is on his way to the castle's final floor. He acquiesces and goes to confront Riku. From the data that the organization had taken from Sora, he opens a door leading to the Destiny Islands. There, he waits for Riku. Riku pursues him through the raging storm on the islands. His guilt begins to creep on him as he remembers that night. He finds Zexion at the place where Sora last found him when the islands were consumed. Zexion summons phantoms of Sora and Ansem, manifestations of Riku's regrets. Riku turns his blade towards the phantom Sora. Zexion's voice can be heard taunting Riku, telling him that he never truly regretted his actions in KH1 because he's still turning his blade towards his friend. He flees in terror as Riku gives chase, but he gets away in the storm. Riku moves on and finds the exit. Axel and the gang step into a great big room. At the center is Marluxia, and behind him is a large crystal sphere. Inside it is a scene frozen in time. A boy fighting against a humanoid Heartless. Marluxia welcomes them to the center of the labyrinth. He talks about how long the organization has waited for this moment, and that it couldn't come sooner. He tells Sora to strike down the magic that holds the frozen time. Sora refuses, but Marluxia threatens to hurt not Kairi. Sora has no choice. Before anyone can do anything, Reflection Riku appears and separates Axel from Kairi. Now that the hostage is released, Sora is now free to fight Marluxia. Final battle begins. Marluxia, who was occupied fighting Reflection Riku, also makes his retreat. Not Kairi and Reflection Riku lead them to a chamber for healing. Not Kairi then begins to start taking back control of Castle Oblivion. After helping Sora, Reflection Riku tells him that he has some unfinished business. He leaves as he tells them not to worry about the king and Riku. Not Kairi explains that she can help Sora recover, but it'll take some time. Before she begins the process, she apologizes for wearing Kairi's appearance. She is important to Sora. She returns Kairi's charm to him. Sora tells her not to worry about it and tells her that she's also important to him now. Sora begins to thank her but points out that he doesn't even know her name. She says she had one but was forgotten a long time ago. Sora asks if he can give her a new name. She gladly accepts. After thinking for a minute, he gives her the name Namine since she only resembles Kairi now. Because Kairi is like the sea and Namine means wave, I guess. Namine thanks him and begins the process of healing Sora. Sora then drifts to sleep as his thoughts wander on where Riku and Mickey are, and of Kairi waiting for him on the island's beach. His hand unconsciously grips Kairi's charm. Zexion retreats to one of the organization's safe rooms. He's shocked to find Riku waiting for him. He backs away in terror. Riku puts it together that Zexion just came from fighting the real Riku. He proceeds to cut him down as revenge for Vexen. Riku finally finds the exit, and on the ground is a world card. He picks it up thinking that Zexion must be waiting for him with another scheme. Riku goes through Twilight Town, an unfamiliar sight to him. He finds himself drawn to the front of a mansion. As he looks at the mysterious structure behind the gate, Reflection Riku steps in. Riku immediately puts his guard up, but the reflection tells him that they will fight after talking. He explains to Riku that he wishes to bequeath his Keyblade to him. Riku asks why would he need a fake Keyblade? He already had one in Hollow Bastion that was shattered by Sora. His reflection tells him that this one may be a replica, but it's far more sophisticated. It's based on the data gathered and processed from Riku, Sora, and the previous Keyblade wielder. It cannot open the way to Kingdom Hearts, but it has the rest of its powers. He will need it in the battle against the organization. Riku asks his reflection why wouldn't he just fight the organization himself? The reflection explains that he and his Keyblade's purpose was to unseal the organization's leader. He is a temporary life form fit for a singular use. Vexen was his creator and was compelled to follow him, but without him, he's now just a short-lived illusion. Even if he wasn't ephemeral, wouldn't it be strange to have another him running around? Riku nods in understanding. He stretches out his hand to accept the Keyblade. His reflection shakes his head. The Keyblade, fake or not, cannot simply be passed on to him because he is touched by darkness. Riku then asks what do they need to do? The reflection tells him that he must be destroyed and have his heart absorbed by Riku. This way, he will have a heart untainted by darkness, and since they mostly have the same memories, they will simply become one mind. The reflection readies his stance. Riku asks him what he's doing as he thought that the replica wanted to give up his heart. The reflection gives him a cocky smile and says that he's also Riku. He's not soft like Sora. He can't just sacrifice himself. It would be too easy. Riku also smiles as he bares his blade to eye level. They clash. The reflection, defeated, looks up at the sky as Riku stands next to him. Tears roll down his cheek. He knows that he's not dying, but it still terrifies him. But he also feels glad that he will be able to see the worlds beyond Castle Oblivion and possibly return to the islands as Riku. He fades away as his heart enters the real Riku. He turns around and heads towards the exit. Riku makes his way to where Sora is. He can now navigate the castle without much in the way to an extent. He enters a hall and is surprised to find King Mickey. Riku comments that it feels like forever since they last met. Mickey is also surprised to feel a keyblade from Riku. Riku says that it's a long story and that he'll explain later. They proceed towards where Sora is. They reach their destination and are surprised to find a familiar girl. She resembles Kairi but has long blonde hair and a one-piece dress. She asks Riku if he finished his business. He explains that yes, his business was concluded. She reintroduces herself as Naminé, the name Sora gave her. Riku nods in approval. He recognizes her from his reflection's memories, but he's still caught off guard seeing Kairi's double. He looks at her a little too long, and she asks him if she looks strange. Riku shakes his head and tells her that she looks great. Riku finds Sora, Donald, and Goofy in their healing pods. He has the memories from his reflection, but he's comforted in seeing Sora in person. Naminé explains that the trio will need to stay in the pod for about a year in order to recover. Dispelling the peaceful moment, an alert goes off that there are intruders in the castle. They look through a screen to find that it's Larxene and Marluxia. Naminé tells Riku and Mickey that she hasn't reconnected completely with the castle yet. In other words, she can't use its defenses. Riku says he'll take care of it. Mickey adds that he has Riku's back. At one of the halls, Larxene and Marluxia come face to face with Riku and the king. Mickey asks them what they're doing here. Larxene laughs and says that it's obvious. They're here to finish off Sora. Larxene and Marluxia prepare themselves. Mickey also takes his stance. Riku tells the duo that he's glad they came. They question what he means. Riku then draws out his Soul Eater with one hand and a Keyblade with the other. The battle begins. Later, Riku and Mickey patrol the fields outside Castle Oblivion. Mickey tells Riku that things will get tougher here on out with the freed leader of the organization and its remaining members. Riku agrees and says that this time, there will be 3 Keyblade wielders at the ready. That took way longer than I thought. I didn't realize how many cutscenes there were in Chain of Memories. There's probably way more of it than in the mainline games. That took a lot out of me. So, anyway, a lot of changes were implemented. Naminé's identity and origins are now completely different. Riku's Keyblade complies with my rule of having only 2 true Keyblades. His Keyblade was the sort of exception I mentioned in my video for the rules of this rewrite. I think I did a pretty okay job with Chain of Memories, although it doesn't really seem appropriate to call it that now. Maybe Chain of Illusion or something? Tell me, what would be a good new title for this? Also, if you think I did a poor job at this rewrite, please tell me in the comments below. Subscribe to help motivate me to take this all the way to Kingdom Hearts 3. I'll be tackling Kingdom Hearts 2 at some point, but I want to spread my wings a bit and do some smaller projects to fill the gap between this and KH2. I guess that's all of it. Thanks for watching to the end. Ciao for now.